Yo, what's up, guys? It's Smallson here. I just wanted to go over 6.4 patch notes, do a little rundown real quick, let you guys know my thoughts. Let's start off right here, right now, do this shit with this Ari change to a charm, okay? And no longer interrupts dashes. I think people are gonna be a little butthurt about this, but I don't think it's as bad as people think it is. Because the reason I don't think it's gonna be so bad, they still get charmed. You're gonna get a little more distance in between you and the person that you're charming, but that's not a big deal really. They're still gonna be disabled and get that CC to run towards you. So I mean, I don't really think it's a big deal. I don't really talk about that. I'm just gonna move on to Ash here. Ranger's focus. I don't really play Ash that much, but her stacks now fall off over time, one at a time after 4 seconds, rather than it falling off all at once. It's going to be good for Ash in lane. I think it's going to be better for her. She can get off those pokes and then do a trade once she gets those max stacks without it being too bad. If she does, for some reason she's not able to attack something, it's going to be good for her. She's not going to be so bullied, I guess. I think this is going to be a small change. I think it's going to help her out quite a bit. Caitlyn here. E cooldown lowered. I mean, it's overall just good. They're just trying to get some play on Caitlyn. She's not very good right now, so they're just trying to get her to be played. For headshot damage, it's alright. I think it pretty much is the same thing. I think it's better earlier, but I think it about evens out later. It might even be a small buff. Yeah, I do think it's a small buff. But I think they're just trying to make her better in lane because she's not very strong right now in solo queue. So I think that's their main goal with it right now. It was pretty good. Trying to get some more play on Caitlyn. Went on to Ezreal, True Shot Barrage. This shit's OP. The cooldown needs to go up. So this is, this was expected. This was coming. Not really anything to talk about. Like that ulti. Fiora. A little bit of a nerf. I guess, it's Fiora's pretty OP. Getting that cooldown on her W, going up early in the late game, it's 1 second more than it was. So it's probably better for her, to be honest. Her bounces are out a little bit better. And then her E on the second hit, the cooldown starts. So, I think it's alright. I don't really know why they changed that. I don't really see what the deal is. The W nerf is pretty good, though. It's pretty strong. Gangplank, I don't really play Gangplank that much. I just know they changed the Q parlay gold he gets down to 6, for level 1. It's alright. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty strong right now. But I don't see him played that much. I think there's some stronger champions out here, but nerfing him, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Now the kegs, though, changing that to 3 at all ranks, I think it's going to be a pretty big deal for setting up. But the cooldown being lowered, I just even it out because you're not really going to get many Gangplanks that set it up that well anyways. They're not going to have a chance to. People are going to kill it or whatever. So I just don't think it really affects him that much. That cooldown being lowered is going to help him out a little bit when he's top lane split pushing. So I hope they were thinking about that. Because he was pretty strong. Cannon Barrage no longer increases the maximum number of barrels per rank. Well, I mean, pretty much what it says. There's not as much shit coming down. I don't know. I guess it's okay. I'd have to see it in game to notice the difference on it, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Jhin is what I want to talk about. The champion's fucking trash, okay? He needed a buff. Really bad. He's not good. Like, he's just straight up not good. And he's a good idea, but it just doesn't work. But, they changed him up here. With the passive thing, just fourth bullet with mini crit structures, 44%. Reduced damage. I mean, it's pretty good. I don't know if it's currently hitting towers or not. I haven't played Jhin. But if it didn't before and now it is critting the towers, then that's pretty good. Pretty good for Jin, gives him a little bit more siege potential. And he has pretty good siege already. It's just hard to execute it, you know. You know how that shit goes. All bonus attack speed will now be appropriately reduced by attack speed slows. Now this is pretty unnecessary. I don't really see why they would do this. Like, he's already not very good. And maybe it was just clarity issue. I'm not sure. It just seems like that was a straight up nerf to him. So, fix the bug where Jin would lose rapid fire cannon's range bonus after loading. Okay, bug fix. No big deal. Arc will no longer fall off while Jin is casting Deadly Flourish. It's pretty good. I'd say that's pretty helpful, if you were casting it and then it fell off and you didn't get the stun off, it'd be pretty fucking annoying, so that's good. Counted as a single target versus champions is also pretty good. I don't really know what it's going to synergize with that much, but it is pretty nice. A little changing how it's identified in there. E now applies Deadly Flourish's mark to all champions and slows their damages. Now that is a pretty big buff to E, I think. I think that'd be pretty good for E. People can still just walk out of it, but if it applies mark to all champions that it slows, then I think it can be pretty good. Or get, an increase that it was much needed out of it. R is now considered a single target versus champions. Fix the bug. Sometimes stutter. Alright, so just fix the teleporting. The people were seeing, I guess, pretty much. That's fine. Bouncing blade. Up the ratio on the detonation after you. So it's after you throw the Q, and then hit the target with another ability or auto attack, and it pops. That's the damage. So this buffed that by 0.5 or 0.05 ability power, and then it's no longer reduced for each bounce. So it's pretty good. It's a little bit of a buff. Maybe Cat will see more play. I doubt it. I don't think that's really big enough to make people play her more. I just think she's not very good right now. So Kog'Maw, attack speed base reduced to 0.625. That is huge. I don't think you guys understand how big that is. That is extremely big. They pretty much just made Kog'Maw the same as Ashe, which is attack speed. So it's gonna be pretty big, I think. I mean, it's gonna help the issue, but I still think he's gonna get played. But as far as nerfs go, this is a pretty sizable nerf that I don't think people are gonna think is that big. But it will definitely make him a lot weaker early on, and he already has a pretty tough time with it, so there's that. Move on to Lucian here. Calling range reduced. Lucian's fucking strong. His ulti range just takes out everything, so getting reduced by 200. There's a lot of times you're on the very tip of it, so I think this is going to fix that frustration people feel when they die to it. So, that's alright. Malphite, base health regen lowered. He's pretty good. Malphite's pretty strong right now. So, I guess they just figured he needed a nerf because he's getting played a lot. Pretty popular pick. He's pretty good. I think he's pretty good right now, so just trying to balance him out a little better because he hasn't seen much attention, and now they know that he's getting played. They want to fix him or something like that. So, Riot doing Riot things there. No big deal. He works on an animal system. Max 2 charges, 1 charge per 5 seconds. Cost 10 heat per charge. Duration 2. That sounds okay. I don't really know why they would do this. Like, his electric harpoon was pretty strong, but I don't think Rumble's getting that much play right now, so I don't know, maybe they're just trying to change him. I don't think it's going to affect him at all. I think it's going to be fine. I think people are still going to be playing him just fine as he was. So, I think it's fine. I think it's good. Let's look at Rise now. Damage has been raised on his Q. It's good. And they do these little changes here and there to try to get champions to help him out, give him a little nudge. But I mean, 40 damage late game. What is that gonna do? What What are you expecting that's gonna do to anything? I don't think it's the right direction. They shouldn't just make abilities do more damage. I'm not I'm not one to make up champ ideas and how to fix stuff, but I don't think that will do anything. I think Rise is just gonna stay the same that he was. I don't really I don't see that being that good. So that's just my opinion though. River control now affects monsters. All right, cool. So Shadow Dash now taunts monsters. Pretty cool. Jungle Shin coming out. I mean, I think I'm gonna see some Jungle Shin now. Nothing wrong about that. Overall, pretty good change. Sivir Ricochet. Ricochet's primary attack is a critical strike. All the attack bounces will crit as well. It's pretty sick. It gives Sivir some really nice damage, just letting that critical. It bounces around in a team fight. That's a lot of damage to do to people. I think she has trouble right now. Yeah, she has that ultimate, which is really good, chasing down targets that disengage as well. But so, like Kog'Maw and Lucian right now, they just do so much damage. The fact that this bounces will crit, I think it's gonna help her out. I think it's gonna put her in the top ADC list or anything, but I think it's definitely gonna make her more viable pick. It doesn't seem that big, but I think it's gonna help out her team fight. So, her mid game's gonna be helped out a little bit too by it. Let's get a lucky crit on 4 people. It's pretty nice. Tom Kench, Tongue Lash Width. He's pretty strong right now. They're just nerfing it by 20. I mean, doesn't seem that much, but it will be noticeable. Probably needed it though. Missile Voyage. Delay before recasts is 1 second. You just pretty much can't mess it up. Like if you're spamming your ultimate to teleport somewhere, then you can't accidentally teleport without somebody jumping in for a ride. If you're just spamming it, it's pretty much just a quality of life change. Udyr, shield nerf needed. Phoenix damage nerf needed. Enough said. Victor, death ray damage. Nerfed it late game. 20 damage. I mean, it's alright. He is pretty strong. But most of the reason that he's strong is once he gets level 5, that he bullies you in lane. It's really difficult to deal with Victor in lane with his laser. But he's not going to have that max level laser in lane, so... Yeah, it's nice. But I don't think it's that big. Sends out Battle Cry, nerf in AP ratio. Nobody cares. Attack speed nerf, pretty big. 20% in the late game is pretty noticeable. That's not very good for Xin Zhao, but he is pretty strong right now, so it's probably needed. So that's fine. Kind of expected. Everybody knew he was OP when he came out, so fuck it. Boots of Swifties. Movement speed nerf by 5. They're OP. Everybody's using them. Fine. Tenacity raised to 30%. Needed. These things are shit. Probably going to get used a lot more. They nerfed them. 35 because they were OP. Now they're shit. So, good median right here. And they nerfed these as well, so you can see more play probably. Mana Immune. 1 mana every 8 seconds. It's making it stack faster. I don't really see a problem with it before. But I guess Riot decided they needed to, so there you go, guys. Can no longer be toggled on and off. Okay, this is interesting. Shock. Single target spells or basic attack on champions consume 3% of your current mana, deal twice. That is bonus physical damage. This effect only triggers more than 20. Oh. Okay. That's interesting. I think it's probably going to be fine still, but it is interesting that you can't toggle it anymore. Kind of different. Runic Echo's nerf. This is 100%. I'm almost 100% positive this is from Udyr. So, fuck that champion. Making Runic Echoes get nerfed. Because, synergies and shit with the items. So that's good job here. Nice. Iceborne Gauntlet. Running Gauntlet, so another lingers. Ratio. Oh. Oh, so they just made it bigger based on. Yeah, so the size, the radius scales better with armor, and they just lowered it by 10 the base. So it seems okay. It seems fine. Sterix Gauge. Health reduced 400. Alright. So, same cost, they just nerfed the health on it. I think it's still going to be a strong item. One of the best items in the game right now. Probably next to Rage Blade. So, this item is just way good. Like, you get it on anybody pretty much that you want. It's a good item. Titanic, you can no longer swap them into each other. So I wonder if they're going to be able to buy both. That'd be kind of neat. I don't really know yet. I haven't been watching PvE or anything, but I've been able to switch between the two. It's going to make your build path a little bit different. Have to be more careful with it. You can't just go damage, and then if you start losing, you can't just switch to that tank. So it kind of sucks. Attacks on champions gain increasingly more lifesteal based on missing health, 20%. That's kind of nice. Worries about less little buff on that. Expose weakness, damaging enemy champions cause them to take. Oh yeah. So whenever you damage somebody, your teammates do more damage to it. Cool. Cool. Switches sides when you smite it. Across the river. This is not mentioned. So it doesn't go down mid lane anymore. Instead, it goes across the river. It's pretty nice. Pretty cool. I think it's fine. You still see a random wolf spirit. You don't see a random wolf spirit in your fucking lane anymore. So that's kind of neat. Go down to lane minions. This is fucking huge. First wave of minions ignore unit collision on the way to lane. No more minion blocking. No more gaining an advantage. Of course, it was probably needed because meta is totally based around if your jungler goes top or not. If your jungler does not start top, then you have to leech for him, and it gives the enemy a chance for their jungler to go top and for them to block the minions, right? Which would give them a huge advantage because it would focus fire one of your minions and start pushing the lane instantly along with denying them XP. So with this change, you are no longer able to do that. So now it doesn't matter if your jungler starts bottom or top. You can still push for that level 2 early, but it's nothing like it was before. So that is pretty big. I think they're mostly changing it just because it was getting abused. People were crying about it because they're bad. Silvers can't utilize this intense Dota strategy. Oh no, this fucking plebs. So changed it. So it's pretty big, pretty huge change. New champ select. Shipping champ grid is now accessible all phase. And select. Now change your pick intent. All phases prior to the final pick. Fix the bug or changing the name on mastery page during champ select, not updated page name. Okay, so just fixes on the champ select pretty much. Bug fixes, scans, nobody gives a shit. Alright guys, that was that kinda lasted a good bit. There's little things, but there were some big things on there too. I hope this did help you guys out. I know if you guys don't like reading, you just want to listen to something. I hope this rundown helped you guys out to know what was going on in this patch. And if it didn't, be sure to let me know. Tell me what I did wrong. I'll do another one next patch. Put another video out. I'll have another video out tomorrow as well. Won't be one of these, but if you guys want to check that out, be sure to do so. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and good luck in solo queue.